Hi everybody, this is Boog S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Page Puncher's Golden Age Wonder Woman figure. So before we take a look at Wonder Woman, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that she comes with. So first up, she comes with her stand. She does benefit from using this since this figure has heels. I also want to point out this is the first McFarlane figure I have using the new DC logo on the bases there. Up next, she comes with a reprint of Wonder Woman #1 right there. It's a pretty good read. Up next, she comes with her data file. I believe this is a shot from Sensational Comics, which when I think of classic Wonder Woman, that's the cover I think of. So I think that was a really good choice of art for this data file. So if you want to read that, go ahead and pause that now. Up next, she comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, she comes with accessory holding hands, but no accessories to put in these hands. And that really doesn't bother me. I know some people wanted her lasso with her, but I don't like the material that McFarlane uses for those lassos. I've tossed the last two lassos from the regular and platinum Wonder Womans in a drawer. Now if it had bendy wire in it, that would be nice. But yeah, it probably would have just been made out of the same material, and I would have tossed it in a drawer too. And finally, she comes with a set of open hands. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at her head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did a phenomenal job on this. I think the head sculpt looks great. I've honestly seen a lot of hate for it online, but I think it looks really good, and it might actually be one of the best female head sculpts that McFarlane Toys has done. It just looks really nice, and I think the face printing on this came out really crisp. It looks really good. The only real complaint that I have is they shaded her cheeks and nose with this kind of like tan color, like an orangish color. And I wish they hadn't done that. I think the head sculpt would have been just fine without that. That's really a minor gripe though, because I think the head sculpt looks great otherwise. She has that really dark red lipstick on, which I actually thought in her early appearances her lipstick was black. But if you look at the art card here, it's really hard to tell. But it's the same color as that. So it's just a really dark color, so that is accurate. But yeah, I think this head sculpt looks great. And so does the hair. I think the hair sculpt is phenomenal. They really nailed the hair on this. The hairstyle looks really, really good. And they added some nice blue variation over top of that like you get in the comics. That just looks really good. Like I said, I think this might be one of the best female head sculpts that McFarlane Toys has done. They just really knocked it out of the park with this one. She does use a brand new upper torso. You get a new design right here. And I think that looks really good. Whenever companies paint yellow over top of red, it's always tricky, and you always see some red showing through somewhere. But I don't see that at all on the design. That came out really clean. That looks very nice. I wish McFarlane Toys would have changed the biceps and the shoulders right here, because I have to say, the way the biceps turn there, that looks ugly. Which, it's been like that on all of the Wonder Woman figures from McFarlane. But yeah, I definitely wish they would have changed that. Not really changed it, just updated it a little bit. She does have new bracelets. They aren't glued down. They will kind of shift up and down when you're posing the figure around. I like to keep it a little bit closer to the ball peg right here. I think that looks pretty natural if you kind of slide it down towards the end of the ball peg right there. The sculpted skirt looks really good. I definitely wish it would have been fabric, that way it wouldn't hinder the articulation. But for being a sculpted piece, it looks really nice. You get some texturing to it, and I think the wrinkles look pretty realistic. It almost looks like it really is windswept. So they definitely achieved the effect it was going for. All of the stars are painted pretty nice, except for the one in this wrinkle right here. You can see a little bit of paint that's missing right there. But other than that, I think it looks really good. Now, I believe the legs... Well, from the knees down, it might be a reuse. I feel like the legs on this Wonder Woman... Oops. I feel like they look a little bit different. I don't know. I know that the knees and the boots are for sure a reuse from the regular Wonder Woman. You still get that really awesome texturing right there. And this time, McFarlane gave her heels instead of flats like on here. It's really weird that they didn't give her toe articulation. I guess probably because they put a peg hole right there, and it would have been cutting it close to the toe joint. But yeah, they did change that for this release. That also does make her a little bit tricky to stand because she has those heels. That's why I said she definitely benefits from using that stand that I showed off in the beginning of the review. So now, let's go ahead and go over her articulation. So she has a ball jointed head that can look up just about all the way. The hair does hinder that a little bit. She can look down all the way. She can move her head side to side and around very nicely. She has shoulders that can move all the way out and spin all the way around. I did want to mention that these joints aren't loose. On the previous two Wonder Woman figures, they were kind of loose on mine. But yeah, McFarlane Toys did fix that for this release. She has these bicep swivels that are a little bit tricky to turn because of the way the joint is molded. So it does turn, but you will have to put some pressure on that. She has double jointed elbows that can bend all the way in, wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around, a ball jointed waist that can move back very slightly, forward a decent amount. She moves side to side and all the way around. She has hips that can move out that far. She actually can move out more than I thought she'd be able to with this molded skirt. She can kick forward very slightly. She can't kick back all the way. She has a really nice thigh swivel. So really the only movement that's hindered is the forward kicking right there. She has double jointed knees that can move back all the way, ankles that can move down just a little bit, up just a little bit, and spin all the way around. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up here she is next to her regular and collector's edition counterparts. And I can honestly say I think McFarlane Toys has done a really good job on all of these. I honestly think this one is my second favorite of the Wonder Woman figures though. I just really love this one. It's a really cool figure. Here she is next to the Platinum Golden Age Batman figure. I wanted to get the Superman to go with this, that way I could have a classic Trinity in this video, but I could not find him for the life of me. And finally, here she is next to the Fidgetal Superman figure, the only one that I could actually find for this video. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because I think McFarlane Toys did a fantastic job on this. As I said, I think this is one of the best female faces that McFarlane Toys has done in the whole DC Multiverse line. It just looks really good. The face sculpt, the face printing, and even the sculpt of the hair, all of that looks really good. It's just a really awesome figure. The only real complaint that I have with it is the weird shading that she has there on her face, which should be easy enough to remove, and the way they sculpted the biceps. But if you have the previous Wonder Woman figures, then you already have dealt with those in the past. But aside from those nitpicks, I think she's a really awesome figure. So yeah, definitely pick her up if you see her. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.